Hi, welcome. On this video, I want to talk about the issue of all these trainers, okay, and their sold out followers who just keep coming, right? They just keep on trying to engage, go on the attack, cheap shots, want to get personal. My response to all of it is good luck with that, okay? Because here's the thing, I'm just going to keep responding, but based on information, okay? It's information based. Again, they can't touch it. The information I put out specific, but I'm going to, again, expose it, okay? The right way, okay? Expose it, just like this whole Murdaugh situation. Because here's the thing is that these trainers, their arrogance and their pride, that's their blind spot, okay? Understand that in order to gain insight, okay? Understand, in order to gain insight, the core ingredient for that is humility, okay? It's being humble, okay? That's the only way that's going to happen. You have to have the ability to be humble, to consider, right? Introspective, right? Guys like Murdaugh and these people, they don't have that, okay? In fact, that's why they're caught in this trap. And when you start to, again, just, start to break it apart, can't hold up. But very interesting, right? This whole time, that's what I talk about. This whole time, right? This whole off-leash, appearance-based, counterfeit picture, right? He could have applied my method, right? The way that he just did at, months ago, right? It's all my videos. I show how to do it. He wouldn't do it until he got caught in the trap. He did it, and now look, right? Now look. So all to say that this is how it works is sooner or later, these people, their arrogance is their blind spot. That's what gets them in trouble, because it's no different than Robert Hines, right? He could do the same thing with Monty, right? You're gonna have the same result, okay? The same bad picture. But think about what I'm saying. Here you got Monty off leash, right? Off leash, the same mess. You have Grey Goose off leash, right? What are they doing? They're exploiting appearances, right? These dogs are walking around, relationship problem, right? And they're selling a false image. How do you reveal it? Right? With those core ingredients reconciled through the right conversation, with lining up intent, the dog understanding intent, under control, influence, a demand that's reasonable, right? All those things those things have to line up, which they did on that video with Burr. And then there's no way out. You'll see it, and then you can line up all. Then say, I got all these problems. Well, yeah, sure he did. Lying about it the whole time, right? Arrogance. So understand arrogance, pride, right? That's the problem here. So that can only carry you so far. That can only carry you so far. So the dog training world's coming apart at the seams. I talk about, look at all the controversies I talk about. It's getting worse and worse and worse. These trainers, they don't care. And they're going to continue to market and sell the lie, because they're liars themselves. So, marketing a lie is pretty easy when you're a liar. So that's just how it works. So I don't care what these people say. I put it all out there. There's nothing hidden. Understand that everything I reveal can be put to the test. In fact, I just talked about a channel over in another country. Just look at it. They're doing it. They're showing it, right? You see it. So it's not just me. They're showing how to do it. They talk through it. It's amazing. So, the message will spread. Understand that the dog training world, when things are about to crumble, you get this level of arrogance. Like Murdaugh is kind of like an example of it. And here's the thing: is like, I'm not personally, have this type of hostility where I'm like, I don't like the stuff he's saying. Like, don't get me wrong, he's getting personal, and yeah, I'm not a robot. That upsets me, but I don't talk that way in terms of. He talks about this whole thing about enemies and art of war and all that. That's so much garbage and foolishness. Listen, that can carry you only so far. You can talk about the truth, but the lies, the arrogance part of it, when you're marketing a lie, it's all going to unravel. I mean, that's just how it works. And there's so much of that in the dog training community. I'm exposing it, but the right way. Okay, I'm not going to get engaged. Some of these people. That's why you know, the situation with, you know, with Mark DeBose, okay, how he engaged that. He did, in terms of him having this conversation with him, was perfect, because I wasn't going to do it. I mean, I'm not, you know, the thing is, this ain't my first rodeo. So this thing about going through this whole thing I did with Christopher Upton, I just moved, listen, the whole thing's coming apart anyway. And so sooner or later, so the fact that, you know, that happened that way was perfect, because, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to sooner or later just move on. I put my videos out because I have no use, that level of disrespect, because if you watch the DeBose and, you know, the arrogance coming from Murdaugh, just look at it on that debate from him. I mean, I don't tolerate that. I mean, DeBose is a better person than I am that way. But it's because I just don't, you know, I don't play that way. I mean, it's like, I'll just move on, because maybe because I'm a little older, you know, but, you know, I just like, hey, I just like, you know what, just leave it alone. Move on. People are going to follow him, if you can't control any of that. I am going to help people who want to help, that see it, that they're out there. But it worked out, and there it is. And so I kind of ride that wave. I'll ride that wave with that video, because that video is right there. DeBose put him in that trap, and that video is right there. I was like, perfect. There it is. I mean, I'm glad he did it, because you see it. There it is. There's no escape from it. And then now, okay, I'll move on or whatever. But I'm gonna respond to all of it. And at the same time, though, the positive part is that, you know, I still want to, like, just like the trainers in the other country, DeBose's journey is amazing. There's positive in all of it. You know, my thing is, like, it's, you know, it's like, yeah, there's so many lies and stuff going on in the dog training community, but there are good people. I mean, they're good people. There's bad people too. Murdaugh. Okay, there's bad people. There's good people, and that's who I focus in on, is the good people. People get it, because there's gonna be more and more. Trust me, as this goes forward, more and more people are gonna get it. But I'm not backing down. And don't get me wrong, I do have my moments where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take a social media pause, but I'm moving forward. You know, that's it, and I'll do it the right way and go from there. But the dog training world's a mess for a reason. But hold on tight, because this is just the beginning. These trainers, Murdaugh's, he's done. You know, he can, don't get me wrong, he can have clients and do whatever. But deep down, he knows he's finished. That's it. It's a done deal. It was a done deal before anyway. But it's just I put it right out there. You see it. People can accept it, deny, whatever they want to do. You can put it all to the test and see, this guy was lying from the beginning. His dog was a mess. He playing the same Zach George game, and all these trainers are doing it. His arrogance, that can't hold it together. It just makes it worse. Okay, it's your blind side. So that's it. Have a great day.